Border Management Authority is monitoring Beitbridge border post as the return leg of the festive season draws to an end. Beitbridge has been processing over 20,000 travellers daily since the new year. Newzroom Afrika's Scara Mafokoane is following those developments in Limpopo and joins us live. Scara, very good morning to you. So how has the peak traffic and just the movement of pedestrians across the Beitbridge been over the last few hours?
Good morning to you, Kateho, and to our viewers. So this weekend would be the second peak, we're told. So last week, and this is part of, I may remind the viewers, this is part of the return leg of the festive season. So the first peak was last week. This week is the second peak, and we're expecting a number of people to be traveling and crossing this Beitbridge from Zimbabwe coming into South Africa. Where I am right now is one of the functions of the BMA, which is Port Health. Just to educate the viewers that the BMA has 5 functions and 4 of them only exist here at the Beitbridge, and that will be Port Health, law enforcement, and immigration and agriculture here at Beitbridge. I'm gonna just step out of shot. As you can see, this is part of the Port Health, so the screening takes place. This gentleman is from Zimbabwe, entering South Africa, so they screen them first and then they proceed to go to the South African side before being processed. We're gonna speak to one of the BMA officials just to tell us what this function entails and how critical it is to the main functions of the BMA at the border or any other border entry or port of entry in South Africa. Allow us just to take a few steps to go. So where we were just now, the screening, it's the walk-ins where walk-ins get screened. These will be people who are using public transport. Where we've walked now is the screening of people who are in driving cars or in trucks or using their personal vehicles. As you see, those the gentleman and the lady being screened there as well. But let me bring into the conversation Kateho Womasindi here, who is from the BMA, just to tell us about how critical this function of the BMA is in the broader scope of things here at Beitbridge.
Thank you so much. It is important to have portal screening because there's communicable diseases outside the country, in other countries. So we are here to prevent importation and at least to know earlier enough for early detection so that we can manage it well. And we also liaise with the inland communicable disease control and the National Department of Health as well. So it's all in all to protect South Africans from getting communicable diseases that were imported maybe from other countries.
Clearly a very important one. Then what happens, just tell us, Masindi, if you pick up symptoms of any other communicable disease, what then happens to that person who is attempting to cross the border? As I allow my colleague Tapelo to go there, I see there's an isolation room. But just maybe take us through what happens in that isolation room, but together with the questions that I just asked you.
Okay, normally when we are screening, we are doing visual observation. We have got handheld scanners, as you have seen, where we are taking temperatures as well. And if maybe we pick a high temperature or we observe any symptom, that's where we proceed to secondary screening. The first one is the primary screening. So the secondary screening is where we complete forms and we ask questions. And if maybe out of both the screening measures that we took, we still feel like there's a need for this person, or maybe we confirm that this person might be sick, we also engage with NICD, the National Institute for Communicable Diseases within South Africa. So we confirm with them first because there are always doctors on site to assist us. And then after confirmation, we also engage with the local EMS and the local outbreak response team so that they can assist in managing further. So we call EMS, they come and take the patient and we refer the patient to the clinic. In the isolation, we keep them while we are doing all these processes.
Which is what the viewers are seeing right now. That is the isolation. So you keep them there for a particular time until EMS arrives?
Yes, for secondary screening, we use the isolation facility, and that is to make sure that we contain the disease.
Just lastly, Masindi, This weekend, we're expecting a little bit of peak of travellers crossing the border. Obviously, schools are reopening. Last week the numbers were high. I think we are recording over 25,000 at a time. How are you managing with if over 25,000 people are being processed in a day? How are you managing that?
We work as a team, so mostly during peak days we have contingencies of overtime, and there were also deployment from other ports where it's not busy like this one. So we also have extra staff members who come in and join us and assist us. And also within the border, we also work as a team. You'll find that there are other streams who are assisting in managing the queues as well while we are screening.
I'm going to ask you to stand up just lastly, and as we find the gentleman who's screening, just to do a little bit of show and tell, Katlego, because we can't give out the details and tell how the screening went with the others. I'm just going to do a show and tell and ask who Lugudu to screen me perhaps, and Masindi will do a quick we'll do a demonstration, and then Umasindi will explain to the viewers what we'll do. Thank you so much for joining us. Perhaps maybe screen me, and then Umasindi will give the results to the viewers, if I am healthy at all.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Can you take out the glass first?
Okay. How did I affect them, Umasindi?
The temperature is this one. It was 36.4, which is normal. So the other one is the ambient temperature, the surrounding.
So temperature is fine. I'm healthy. I can continue with my work.
With visual observation, there's nothing wrong.
Okay. Okay. I think my superiors at the office will be happy to know that I am healthy, temperature is fine, and I look fine. So I am happy to continue with the deployment. As we see more trucks, I'll ask Tapelo to come with me. There's quite a number of vehicles that are entering, and that speaks to what the Border Management Authority told us, that this weekend we are expecting a high number of people to cross, as schools will be reopening sometime next week.
All right, Scara Mafokoane out at the Beitbridge with